Thank you, Kelly.
And the ongoing trade talks between President Trump and countries all around the world continue, with some new developments just this morning involving China. For more on this, we welcome now the CEO of ARC Initiatives and former battleground director for the Harris Walz campaign, Dan Canon, and political strategist and managing director at Nestpoint, John Thomas. Gentlemen, great to have you both. Dan, I'd like to start with you. So this tariff back and forth, largely on the minds of so many Americans. We know a lot of folks have been hit hard, namely small businesses. China's now warning foreign countries against making deals with the U.S. So China's Commerce Ministry releasing this statement and reads in part, if this happens, China will never accept it, will resolutely take countermeasures in a reciprocal manner. Some analysts say this is not a good look for China, that it shows his president is the president there under enormous pressure. What do you make of this statement coming just hours ago?
Well, I think it's interesting, and I do think pressure in China is a real thing. I think the pressure on the president should be a real thing as well, President Trump, that is. And, you know, the tariff deals are not going very well, Kelly. I mean, the president wanted to have these 90 deals done days. Nothing has really moved on that front. And China has some longer-term leverage, more longer-term leverage than we have. And unfortunately, it sounds like they're developing a plan, which I don't think the president has. So at the moment, I'm worried that this country is going to get played by China in much the same way that Russia has been playing Donald Trump on Ukraine from your last segment. And costs are going to continue to rise for Americans. Supply chains are going to be stifled. And the polling shows that right now, the president's completely underwater on the economy because of this self-inflicted crisis he's made. He's minus 18 overall in the economy, minus 26 on tariffs, and minus 29 with independence on the economy at the moment. So he's got a lot of work to do.
Well, he's definitely taking a hit in the polls. There's no doubt about that. John, I'll give you a chance to respond to the runway, you could say, on both sides, China's versus the U.S. What do you make of that situation?
Well, this is actually pretty significant, what we're seeing out of China, because up until really today, or perhaps this week, China has said they can endure a trade war indefinitely. And what we're starting to see are cracks. We're seeing China making certain exemptions this week for certain key American products. They're waiving tariffs coming into China, where China cannot endure permanently a trade war. We're also seeing something globally because of the instability between U.S.-China trade relations, which is U.S. companies are now moving their supply chains out of China and to other countries when they can't just onshore to the United States. China is hugely dependent upon the U.S. relying upon China as a manufacturer. And so China may be damaged long term. Look, I think what President Trump's doing right now is he's trying to surround China. He's attempting to negotiate deals with other major countries, leaving China as the last man standing. And yes, is Trump suffering in the short term in the American polls? Absolutely. He's trying to rebalance global trade. But Trump's playing the long game. And if he pulls it off, and I think he will have China surrounded, and I think he'll get a good deal out of China.
You know, and what's interesting about what's happening right now, John, is we have these two different narratives competing, happening at the same time. You have China saying they're not having any consultation or negotiation with tariffs with the U.S. President Trump saying talks with China are active. What do you make of that back and forth, and what it says also about what's likely happening behind the scenes here?
I'm sure the diplomats are chatting, but I don't know that there are any meaningful conversations. One thing we know about President Trump is most of the meaningful conversations happens via his Truth Social account. So we can see kind of the president's perspective here. But it's very clear that President Trump is trying to amp up pressure on China by cutting deals with surrounding countries. And look, China doesn't have a lot of friends on the world stage. So this idea that they're going to pressure or clap back at other countries that might cut deals with the U.S., I just don't see that going very far.
Well, and to your point, John, Dan, I'll toss it over to you to respond, but also add that President Trump has claimed in this recent Time interview that he has already made 200 trade deals. We have China now quietly exempting some goods from tariffs, namely now allowing U.S.-made pharmaceuticals to enter the country without that 125% tariff. What's your read on all of those movements as well?
Well, there's 193 countries in the world, so I don't think he's made 200 trade deals. I don't think he's made any, to be frank. And I'll just say this. I think that John could be right, that the cracks showing in China mean that they also see some pain that they do not want to tolerate or can't tolerate in this trade war. And I don't want to discount the fact that they're going to be suffering a great deal, as will we all. No one wins in a trade war. China loses, we loses, the entire global economy loses. So I want to concede that point. But on the argument that China can't clap back with European nations and our allies, this is precisely why the president has prosecuted this effort has been so disappointing, because we do have the world's best allies normally, and Donald Trump has one by one offended them, called them dictators, said they're ripping us off, which is not necessarily true in most cases, and made our allyships weaker, which gives China a little bit of leverage. Now, can they actually go all the way and get some support that they wouldn't otherwise have? Maybe, perhaps not, but we've definitely weakened ourselves in this, and we weakened the entire global economy by pursuing this very foolish trade war with China and the world.
All right, Dan Canon, John Thomas, great to have you both, and both perspectives. We always welcome those here. Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you.
And on News Nation Wednesday, Chris